quality of work, that's very important. The quality that you put out there directly reflects the type of person that you are, and it directly affects repeat business. Change my mind. Why do I say that? Well, I drove by a driveway today on my way out to my shop that was done by a company who loves to do shit work but constantly put their signs out so that everybody knows who did the shit work. And it's not important who the company is, right? That's not important to me at all, really. I mean, I don't care. It could be anybody, right? There's enough. One thing you got to get out of the mindset in this business is competition. People will say, "Oh, you compete with this person," or "This is a competitor of mine." You don't have any competitors. There is more asphalt out there than 100 companies could seal in 100 lifetimes. There just is. So you're not competing with anybody when you're out there. You're other than yourself, really. So you need to be out there doing the very best job for you. Now, look, you can point out all of the things that you do better and that you do different than, let's say, your competitor, okay? Because I can drive by a job right away and point out 5 things that these people did wrong that I would never do on a job, and that I would be pissed if I came home and saw, a driveway that was sprayed when it should have been squeegeed. Black all over the grass. And yes, does it wash off? Yes, it washes off. And yes, you can weed whack it down. But it's what it looks like as soon as it's done. You can't like go up in someone's house and fucking make a mess of everything and then go, yeah, in a week that grass is going to grow back. Man, you won't see it. But what about the week that it's there? And I drive by, everybody's driving by here and it's fucking, overspray on everything. You got this one job I took pictures of. They had elephant ears next to the driveway, a whole row of elephant ears. They just fucking plastered the whole side of this thing like it was nothing. Like they didn't even care to try to remove it. All right? That's sloppy. You're not getting other customers. When people drive by, and they say, okay, what's the sign for? To tell me not to call that guy because he's going to spray sealer all over my fucking plants? Like, no, you got to be on top of your game, all right? And you got to be conscious of what other people, it's not just customers that are looking at your work. It's other people in this industry, right? Your so-called competition, right? So you can go out there and you can do, what you think is a good job, but then another competitor will drive by who really does good work, and they're looking at it laughing at you, thinking like, yeah, because I do it all the time. And I always wonder, why did you put a sign out there? Why would you put a sign out there to say like, hey guys, it's me over here. I did, this is, whose shit job is, oh, that's my shit job. Yeah, there's my sign. I want everyone to know it's my shit job. Yeah. And that's how it is, and that's how it goes. So, I really feel quality comes before everything. It comes before the dollar. It comes before your reputation, because I guess it's hand in hand. I guess your quality is your reputation, right? I mean, just go online. Go think of your competitors and go online and read some of their reviews, Not the ones that their friends fucking wrote for them or people in their family wrote for them. And, not even the ones that some fucking hater other seal coating company like wrote on their shit to try to fuck them up or something, because that's lame too. If you're doing that shit, you're lame. I've gotten doxxed by somebody who just you know that it's just someone who fucking hates my company and hates the fact that we're successful and that we do the quality of work that we do. Or maybe it was the fact that they hated, we had at the time 45 5-star reviews and they were just like, oh, fuck this guy. And they had to go on and just make me a 1-star review. And then when I go on and see the 1-star review and say, could you please elaborate a little bit more about the supposed bad job that we did so that the other customers and stuff, can be informed? Or could you please post some pictures of what supposed horrible work that we did so that the rest of the class can see? And they don't post anything. They don't even respond. You look up their name. You do a little investigating. You find out that, that it's nobody. It's just a doxer, someone who hates you, likes to hate you. All right? You can't do nothing about those people. And those people are lame. If you're doxing other companies, you're lame. All right? I encourage my customers to write reviews. In some cases, full disclosure, I'll even give them a discount if they write a review. And if you want, this is completely unprofessional and probably not good for video making, but I am going to go into my Google search or my text message search, and I'm going to type in indifferent. I don't know how to spell that. Indifferent. And I'm going to search up the word indifferent because when I send people indifferent. Yes, see? These are 2 messages that I sent to people. You probably can't see it. But in my reviews, when I ask people to write a review, I say, you can take 20 off if you leave a detailed review, good, bad, or indifferent. All right, I'm not trying to pay people. Yes, I am offering to pay people $20 to write a bad review about me and my company, if I deserve it. I am offering, in some cases, $50 or more on commercial lots for someone to write a review about my work when they felt indifferent. So, yeah, it's important to get these people to write you reviews because that's how customers are going to find you. Reviews are so important. I am a big review guy. I'm a huge review guy. My Google, on Google, for crying out loud. Let's see. Let's find Google. Google. Okay. Go into Ryan. I don't know how to do it. But I am a big deal when it comes. I'm a big deal when it comes to Google reviews, folks. Hold on, let me find this shit. Man, that's horrible. I think I gotta go to Google Maps. Sorry. I know this is not professional. Hold on. Hold on, folks. Contribute. Okay. So, just to give you an example, I have contributed to Google Maps 1,847 times. My contributions have 9.5 million views. Yeah. Right? 9.5 million views. What else here? Oh, and they're also great for getting paid. Writing reviews is great for getting paid by customers, specifically companies or complexes who don't or haven't paid you. And why is that? Well, here is a 1-star review that I left about a company who we did tennis court work for a couple years ago. Well, it was last year. All right. And I'm just going to briefly read you the beginning of this. They don't pay subcontractors who do work for them. That's the first sentence. We were approached about doing a tennis court of theirs, fixing the cracks, after the last company they hired did not do a good enough job according to their standards. I went out and looked at the property and saw that the last company did not use a membrane system, which is common. A company has to be trained by the company who sells it, as are we. I saw that the tennis courts had approximately 800 or 900 linear feet of cracks, and after meeting with someone by the name of and a gentleman called who reported to be her boss, I informed them that the only way to fix the cracks right would be to use a membrane system, which cost approximately $30 a linear foot to install. This would have made the whole tennis court project around $50,000, including the resurfacing. That was way out of their budget, so we came up with a plan to fit their budget, which included filling major cracks in the playing areas or outbounds with right way, approximately 450 linear feet. I also discounted them from $30 to $18 a linear foot to help them try to get this done. Also, threw in a free coating of the basketball courts as well as the line striping so that the basketball courts would match the tennis courts, seeing how the green that we were using was different from the green that the previous company had used. Now, we did the job, came out, I thought it came out very well. As soon as the 45-day payment reminder went out, they started to complain about the cracks that they did not pay to do with the membrane. I reiterated the fact and told them that this would happen, and that's why we used the membrane, but I still went down in an hour and a half each way, 2 different times, to try to rectify this problem, to try to make them happy. I am currently foreclosing on a lien I have on their property that we did the work at, and if you're reading this, the invoice has not been paid. We did all the work that we were quoted and that they signed for. If you're a contractor and you're asked to do any kind of work on their property, I would pass. We were told the day that we started by their maintenance guy that they did not like to pay, but we did not heed the warning. I submitted this 3 weeks ago. Last week when I was in Detroit, I received a call from the lawyer who's handling this down in Connecticut. And he said, well, your review worked. They offered to pay the balance in full if we promised to remove the review. And I told him, yeah, I'll do it. So here's a great backstory. I had another company by the name, well, I won't say their name, okay, but it rhymed with Batch Paving, okay? Well, this company that rhymes with Batch Paving hired us to do their line striping for a whole season almost. The first job, they met us out there with a check. We did it. Everything went fine. But the second job, they were supposed to meet us out there with a check, and the owner couldn't make the appointment. But we did that. Then he sent us to another place, and he sent us to another place, and he sent us to another place. And before you know it, they owe us like $5,000. I could not get this person to pay me under any circumstance whatsoever. I took them to court. They didn't show. I filed liens. Didn't matter. I paid the sheriff to deliver my papers. Didn't matter. I went on Google, wrote a review about how they don't pay their subcontractors. The guy was at my shop within a week paying me. So, that just shows you how powerful reviews are. Not only as a tool to help you gain more work, but as a tool to help you get paid for work that you did. So, keep that in mind. Reviews are a huge asset, but to digress and get back to, I went off on a bit of a tangent. You know, you go on and you read some of these reviews of these other companies, and you read, and you know, of your competitors, and you can see everything that they're doing wrong just by reading their reviews. And then you just make sure that you capitalize on all of those things, and that you see where they had their faults and you correct it immediately. Look, if this is how an estimate should go. I show up at your house, or I show up at your parking lot, I look, I measure, I do what I got to do, I give you a price, we shake hands, I do the job. If I'm showing up to your house or your business to give you an estimate, and then I give you a packet of paperwork that has paragraphs of all the things that we're not responsible for, and all of the rebuttals to any complaints that you might have. Oh, well, you know, they seal coated my driveway, and then I got done. And when it got done, I could see all these little cracks. It was all these little cracks everywhere. Yeah. Because that contractor didn't give a shit about your driveway. He just gave a shit about taking your money. So instead of him walking up and down your driveway and going, you know what, ma'am, or sir, or property owner, you've seal coated this way too many times. You see all these little cracks? These are not cracks in the asphalt. These are cracks in the sealer, because the sealer's so thick, as it starts to dry out, it shrinks, it starts to pull apart. You get all these little micro fractures. Next thing you know, you compound that, because you see that, you think now you need to seal it. So you put more sealer on it. Then the contractor comes in, and if he's spraying, like at this particular job I saw this morning, he's laying it down like mayonnaise, trying to get it to cover up those little cracks. But really, he's just adding more sealer that's going to shrink even more. It's going to make the cracks even look even smaller. They're going to stick out. So, listen, that's just the way it is. You have to be smart enough to realize what situation you're in when you're in it. Walking up the driveway. Okay, you do not want me to seal coat this driveway. Why not? Because you've seal coated this driveway too many times, and you need to calm down, sir. Sir or ma'am, calm down. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and it's all your fault, sir. And I am not going to add to this problem. I'm not going to make this my problem, sir, because I'm going to be the guy that you call from now on because of my incredible service. And now, all of a sudden, I'm going to have to come out here every year because you got cracks on your driveway. I don't know where these cracks are coming from. I just did my driveway last year, and I got all these cracks over here, and they keep showing up. I don't know what the guy did. The guy didn't do anything other than tell you, sir, you don't need your driveway seal coated. These cracks are not that. Now, in my case, we have machinery. I can strip all that right off. I can drop that thing right down to a brand new driveway. Well, not brand new, but I can bring it back down to pavement. You know, these other companies, they don't care. They're not wasting the time to do shit like that. They're not. They don't even care. They're just showing up, $450. Okay, they'll come in, what's with all the, read my packet of paperwork that I left you when you got your estimate. Look at paragraph 4. It'll explain that. Don't bother me with your fucking problems. Goodbye. Like, you think that I'm joking or that I'm being like, you know, over dramatic, right? For the sake of entertainment, let's say. But no, that's not the case at all. That's what these fucking people do, man. That's what they do. And how do I know? How do I know? Because every year, like clockwork, I call them. I have my friends call them. And I say, hey, can you come give me an estimate? This is my address. And then they show up with their little stupid fucking bags and their disclaimers and their papers and papers of all the bullshit that they're going to do. Like, if you're selling trowelable crack fill to a customer when you have a hot rubber applicator, right, you need to be hung up by your short and curlies and beaten with a hose, because that's just bullshit. You know, trowelable crack filler doesn't do shit to protect people's driveways. It does. It only lasts long enough to cash the check. All right. 2 months, wintertime, that's failing. Water's getting into the base. The driveway's deteriorating, but you don't care, right? No, you don't care because you were able to bang out as many driveways as you had on your schedule for that day. So your responsibility is to the customer above anything else, above your pocket, your reputation, everything. Because if you do a good job for the customer, at the end of the day, you can go home and you can lay there in bed. And yeah, your pocket might not be as heavy as it could be, but you know that you did the best job that you could and that you gave people an honest day's work. And you left them with the best quality product that you could. If you're sending people out to do driveways and they're using trowelable crack filler, you don't give a shit about the customer, and I don't care what you gotta say. All right, especially if you got MA10s or you got a tow behind crack machine, if you have either of those things and you're using trowelable crack filler, you need to be run out of the business because you're the snake oil salesman, not me. Okay, and I say that because another company tried to call a snake oil salesman for telling customers they needed 2 coats. So, yeah, that rubbed me the wrong way. And then I started to focus on all the shit that they did. Same thing with commercial parking lots. Hey, so-and-so, yeah, I'm trying to get I represent a property management company. We have a property over at, and I was wondering if I could get an estimate. I need it all, soup to nuts. Well, sir, however, I want you guys, I'm not really sure, so I need you guys to just, the best way for me, for the parking lot, figure it out, send over your recommendations, and I'll take a look at it. Then I sign on to one of my, I bought a domain name. I'm not going to say what my domain name is, but it's a property management company's domain name. And I set up an email address, or 4 of them actually, through this domain name. So now if I go to XYZ Sealcoating and it'll say, Jason at XYZ Property Management. So they're just so fucking stupid. They just send, here's my estimate, here's my pricing. And I look at it and I'm like, wow, I cannot believe the games that these people are pulling to try to get customers to bite on their bullshit. I just can't. I can't believe what people are trying to pass off as quality work. I get a lot of people. I'll be doing jobs for them, and they're like, "Oh, so I hired so and so last time, but I wasn't really happy with their work." You know how many people hire us that don't hire us again? I don't know any, honestly. I've retained most of the people that I've ever worked for. I am still seal coating their stuff to this day. Matter of fact, there's people who have jumped ship because I couldn't either get there, and they always come back, and it's always a, wow, like I didn't realize there was that much of a difference. Yeah, there really is that much of a difference. I have a little saying that I like to tell people. It's, hire me this time or hire me next time, but sooner or later you're gonna hire me. And that's my philosophy, is because in my opinion, nobody does a better job than us. And why? Because we focus on all the little stuff that nobody pays attention to. All right. It's the little stuff. It really is. It's the little stuff. It's the being able to walk up a driveway and having the balls to look at the customer and say, you don't need your driveway seal coated. Well, I know, but I got all these little cracks. Yeah, those little cracks are because you're having your driveway seal coated too much. Well, okay, fine. If we're going to do it, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to put it on with a squeegee, and we're going to put it on paper thin. All right? And the only reason that we are going to do it is because we're going to try to hide some of those cracks. But I want you to know something, and I want you to remember me telling you this. When I finish this driveway, those cracks are going to look as bad, if not worse, than before I started. And in the beginning of my career, um, like I didn't know enough about all of that to know, right? I didn't know enough about that to know. So what would happen would I would go do somebody's driveway. It would have a ton of little cracks, the micro cracks from seal or shrinking, and they would call me and they'd go, "Hey, you just came into my driveway yesterday, and I got cracks all over the place again." And I'd be like, "Oh my God," So I'd run back out and I'd seal their driveway again, and it would look the same. And then finally, I'm like, "Oh Jesus, okay, something's going on here. I get it," you know. And then that, that's going to happen a couple times before you realize, like, don't do that anymore. So then now I go to people's houses and I see that and I tell them, look, matter of fact, I have a video on YouTube. You can go watch it. It explains what that is. It explains how it's going to come back, how it all looks the same. Like, people will appreciate your honesty. It's not always about the money. It's not. Customers need to be taken care of. Think of customers as like that girl or that boy that you tried dating in school, and you just, you don't want to do anything wrong. You don't want to say anything wrong. You just want that person to like you and that person to come along on your magical ride. But at the same time, you can't be afraid to like reject yourself in the sense that, hey, you don't need your driveway seal coated. You just don't need it. Well, what about this? And I put it in last year, and the paver told me I had to do it before a year, and I don't know, my head's gonna explode. And I'm like, listen, this just happened yesterday. I can show you the text message if you don't believe me. Guy says, look, man, I just want to get this done. I'm trying to get it done ASAP before the winter would be great. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. But in a nutshell, what I said to him was, look, seal coating's for beautification only. It does nothing to extend the life of your driveway. It doesn't. It really doesn't. So there's no rush to go seal coat your driveway, within a year of having it done, because it's not doing anything to your driveway. It's really not. And if you're gonna go out and seal your driveway, seal it in the spring where you can enjoy how it looks, and you can enjoy like playing on it and having your kids out there, and your grass is green, your mulch is full of color, your driveway's nice and dark. Why wait until the winter? That's nonsense. You don't have to wait until the winter. So it's telling me I'm out of time on my memory card. Am I? I don't know. But I'm just rambling. I got all zeros. I don't even know what I said, what I covered, what I was supposed to cover. This is like the third video I made in an hour. I'm trying to do some catch up. So again, sorry guys. I mean, probably 20 minutes of this is just me fucking blabbing. So sorry.